Hare Krishna. Remembering Krishna is not just a function of the memory, it is an inclination of the heart. Whenever we are told remember some things, we may often associate that with the way we memorize things in our school. We memorize tables, we memorize spellings, we memorize formulae, and that is a function of memory. And some of us may have very good memories, and some of us may have not so good memories. Now, when we come to spiritual life and when we hear that spiritual advancement, especially on the devotional path, centers on learning to love Krishna, then how do we do that? Actually, it is not a function of the memory alone. Yes, with a good memory, we may be able to remember more verses about Krishna Tattva, about Krishna Leela, about the philosophy and the pastimes of Krishna. And those can be an aid for remembering Krishna. But when within the process of bhakti, remembrance of Krishna is talked about, that is much more inclination of the heart than the function of the memory. That means that when Krishna wants us to remember him, he wants us to remember him with affection and with the intention of increasing our affection. That's why we see that Krishna repeatedly talks about uh, this in devotional terms. So, for example, when he says man mana, immediately he says bhavmad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaibam atmanam matparayanaha. So this is 9.34 in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says man mana, think of me, because that means remember me. But how is he saying remember me? Bhavmad bhakto, by becoming becoming his devotee. And he's not just talking about devotion in abstract terms or some sentimental terms or just feel something in the heart. No. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer your obeisances to me. So Krishna is actually telling practical things, external things also which we can do for redirecting our heart. And then to stress this further, Mam evaishyasi yuktvaibam atmanam matparayanaha. By acting like this, with our life and soul, with our heart devoted to him, we will attain him. Atmanam matparayanaha. So this implies that actually we can't just attain Krishna through artificial or random means, by some intellectual enhancement of the capacity to memorize. We authentically need to redirect our hearts toward him. And redirecting our heart towards him means that we actually practice the process that will redirect our heart towards him. That's why later on Krishna also says in 12.9 in the Bhagavad Gita that abhyase, that atchittam samadhatum na shaknosi maistiram abhyas yogin tato mamichhaptum dhananjaya. So he says, if you cannot spontaneously absorb your life consciousness in me, if you can't find satisfaction in such absorption, then practice abhyas. And by this abhyas, by this diligent practice, what will happen? You will develop attraction for me. Mamichhaptum dhananjaya. Oh Arjuna, you will get attraction for me. So here again, the point is that we need to incline our heart towards Krishna. So just as if a floor is inclined in a particular way, then naturally the water flows in that direction. So similarly, when the heart is inclined towards Krishna, our thoughts, our consciousness will naturally flow towards him. Presently, our consciousness is inclined towards worldly things, towards sense objects. And that's why our consciousness naturally flows in that direction. And the process of bhakti is meant to change the inclination of our consciousness. And this happens by consistently, conscientiously, and determinedly pushing our consciousness towards Krishna instead of its default direction of the sense objects. So even if we can't memorize lots of verses, even if our memory itself, in terms of remembering facts and figures, is not all that good, it doesn't matter. If we just diligently direct our heart towards Krishna, then we will attain the highest, sweetest, and best remembrance of Krishna. The remembrance that will fulfill our heart and ultimately liberate our heart from material existence, to be reunited with Krishna in his eternal abode. Thank you. Hare Krishna.